Welcome, everyone, to Brewing Sustainability. I'm Stephen Pride, a solution architect on the customer and partner success team.
Welcome, everyone. I'm Zoltan Banyai, and I'm also a solution architect in the Microsoft Cloud for Sustainability team, same as Stephen, and we are excited to share with you the best practices for custom dimensions, factor mappings, and data model extensions. Here is what we will cover today: an overview of custom factor mappings, custom dimensions, and data model extensions. We will compare the options available and provide you with resources to explore further. This agenda is designed to give you a comprehensive understanding of each topic, starting with the basics and moving towards more advanced concepts. Let's dive in and explore how these elements can be integrated into your sustainability strategy. To enable effective and accurate reporting of carbon emissions, it's crucial to link your custom properties to sustainability data. This simplifies calculations and includes unique attributes, enhancing your sustainability practices, improving data management, and enabling flexible data modeling. By doing so, you can ensure that your sustainability reports are not only accurate, but also reflective of the unique aspects of your business operations. This approach will help you identify key areas for improvement and track your progress over time. Let's take a look at the three options we will compare today and see them in action. Custom factor mappings allow the use of customer-specific reference data in factor mapping and calculation model pivots. Custom dimensions enable detailed analysis and reporting by associating various properties with your sustainability data. Custom fields offer the flexibility to add unique attributes to the data model, such as specific type of emissions or custom impact factors. This level of customization ensures that your sustainability data is tailored to your specific needs, providing more relevant and actionable insights. Let's consider a scenario with Contoso Coffee roasters, a specialty coffee roaster using different roasting machines across facilities. They want to track Scope 1 stationary combustion for each roaster model. By implementing custom factor mappings, Contoso can accurately track and report emissions for each machine, allowing them to identify high-emission models and take corrective actions. This scenario illustrates the practical application of custom factor mappings and how they can be used to enhance sustainability reporting. To correctly calculate emission factors based on reference data, such as fuel types or facility, Sustainability Manager uses factor mappings to simplify calculation models and ensure the correct emission factor is applied for emission reporting. Custom factor mappings are extensibility options to factor mappings. Custom factor mappings support your unique reference data needs and simplify your calculation models beyond the out-of-the-box reference data. By integrating customer-specific reference data, you can create more accurate and detailed sustainability reports. This approach not only simplifies the calculation process, but also ensures that your reports are tailored to your specific needs. Custom factor mappings provide a flexible and efficient way to manage your sustainability data, making it easier to track and report on key metrics. Contoso Coffee roaster needs to calculate the stationary combustion emission based on the roaster model they are using, as different roasting machines have varying emissions depending on the technology they employ. To achieve this, Contoso will implement custom factor mappings. Let's walk through the steps of creating custom factor mappings. To set it up, Contoso will first have to extend the data model by creating a custom table for the roaster model and creating an alternate key on the name column. A lookup field will also be added to the mobile combustion activity table. Then Contoso will need to add the relationships to the existing polymorphic lookup on the factor mappings table and add the new table's logical name to the reference data table. Finally, Contoso has to give access to the MSM application and its users to the new roaster model table. Today, we won't walk through all these steps to set up custom factor mappings, but we'll focus more on the advantages of using it in our scenario. I encourage you to watch the recording from our May 2024 Tech Summit session, where Stephen had a deep dive session on how to set up custom factor mappings. We will share the links to the recording and the documentation at the resources section of our presentation. Now let's move on to a demo and see custom factor mappings in action.
First, let's take a look at how the calculation model appeared before Contoso started implementing custom factor mappings. Imagine having even more types of roasters and managing them with conditions and multiple report nodes that Contoso had to maintain. Now, let's see how custom factor mappings help simplify this model. Here, you can see the newly created custom roaster model table with 3 types: Fabricum Eco Roast, Roast 100, and Woodgrove Roast Master. Contoso created a new custom factor library for the roasters. Each roaster has its own emission factor with greenhouse gas quantity and unit. Contoso also created a factor mapping for all emission factors where the roaster model and the fuel type are the reference data. Next, let's look at how stationary combustion activities appear when extended with the roaster model. You can see the cubic meters of LPG consumed every month by the roaster models. Opening the calculation model, you can see that the model itself is very simple using custom factor mappings. There is only a source and a report node defined. In the report node, Contoso set up the quantity and quantity unit, which is cubic meters on the activity. Using the custom factor library, the roaster model and fuel type are selected as emission factors to match the correct emission factor using factor mappings. Moving on to the calculation profiles, you can see that the roaster model can be used as a filter as well. Finally, let's see how the calculated stationary combustion emission looks like for the Fabricum Eco Roast March activity you saw at the beginning of this demo.
As you saw in the demo, Contoso Coffee Roaster streamlined its calculation model by enhancing the out-of-the-box reference dataset. They incorporated the roaster model into the factor mappings and then linked it to the stationary combustion activities. This approach not only simplified the calculation process, but also ensured that emission calculations remain accurate based on standardized data. To maintain focus, Contoso implemented the new roaster model lookup field as a filter in the calculation profile, ensuring that this custom calculation model is exclusively applied to stationary combustion for coffee roasting machines. While the advantages of custom factor mappings are evident, it's important to recognize that implementing these changes require upfront effort, including technical steps and extending security roles. Additionally, these customizations will not reflect in the pre-built dashboards. Now let's shift our focus to custom dimensions and data model extensions. Over to you, Stephen.
Thanks, Zoltan. Let's discuss custom dimensions. Custom dimensions let you associate various properties with your sustainability data, enabling detailed analysis and reporting. This flexibility allows you to capture and utilize unique attributes relevant to your sustainability goals. By integrating custom dimensions into your data model, you can create more comprehensive and detailed sustainability reports. This approach ensures that your data is reflective of your specific needs, providing more relevant and actionable insights. Contoso Coffee Roaster has begun using a secondary combustion device on some of their roasters to reduce their roaster emissions. To factor this secondary combustion into their calculations, we'll implement a custom dimension. To set up custom dimensions, Contoso will first define the custom dimension in the Custom Dimensions settings page within Microsoft Sustainability Manager, specifying the name, data type of string, boolean, or number, and a description. They will then be able to reference the custom dimension in the data ingestion pages and calculation models. We won't go through all of these steps today, but instead, we'll discuss the advantages of using custom dimensions in our scenario. Eyal did a deep dive session on custom dimensions during our May Tech Summit, where you can learn more on how to set up and use custom dimensions. We will share links to the recording and the documentation at the end of this session. Let's play a demo of how custom dimensions work. This will provide you with practical understanding of how to leverage custom dimensions in your sustainability data management. During the demo, we will go through how custom dimensions are used throughout the system, integrating a new property to track when Contoso uses secondary combustion, and how the custom dimensions are displayed on the standard dashboards. This practical demonstration will help you see the value of custom dimensions and how they can be applied in your organization.
Here in MSM, we are on the Custom Dimension Settings page. Contoso has created a new custom dimension, named Secondary Combustion, with the data type of Boolean. Reviewing our recent data import mappings page, custom dimensions can be found at the bottom of the field mappings list. The secondary combustion custom dimension is mapped to the secondary combustion used field from the source data. Let's review the changes that Contoso has made to the calculation model to integrate the new custom dimension. A new condition node has been added to the calculation model with a power fx expression applied. The expression utilizes the new secondary combustion Boolean dimension. Contoso has created a new custom factor library called Contoso Roaster Secondary Combustion. This library is used in the report node on the true side of the condition. The false side of the condition uses the same factor library we used during the custom factor mapping demonstration. Let's review the calculated emissions. The custom dimension, secondary combustion, has been copied from the activity data. Additionally, the CO2e emissions have reduced compared to the previous calculation. Switching to the Emissions Insights dashboard on the Custom Dimensions tab, we can review our emissions compared by our custom dimension.
Contoso Coffee Roaster was easily able to add a new data point or dimension to their activity data by simply adding a new custom dimension setting record. They quickly added a new data point for secondary combustion, allowing them to more accurately correlate the reduction in emissions to the use of the secondary combustion device. This offered a lower barrier to entry, allowing a sustainability practitioner to quickly adapt to a new calculation and reporting need without the need to bring in additional technical resources. Custom dimensions offer flexible data association and can be used in calculations via PowerFX expressions. Unlike custom factor mappings, which are limited to just lookup values, custom dimensions support 3 data types: string, boolean, and number. They are natively supported by data ingestion and have a dedicated tab on pre-built reporting, making them a versatile tool for detailed sustainability analysis. By using custom dimensions, you can create more accurate and detailed reports that reflect the unique aspects of your business operations. Extending the data model with custom fields offers the ultimate flexibility to add unique attributes, such as specific types of emissions or custom impact factors. These extensions can be used within custom calculation models, custom data tracking and reporting needs, as well as additional filters on calculation profiles. This allows for a more custom and tailored approach to sustainability data management. Contoso Coffee Roaster wants to also track which type of roast was being performed that month. However, Contoso wants to track this in a simple drop-down choice list. We will extend the data model to add a new choice field because custom factor mappings and custom dimensions do not support this data type. To extend the data model, Contoso will first create a solution to store the changes. We will then create or add existing tables to the solution. In this scenario, we will be adding the stationary combustion table to our new solution. We will need to add the new roast type choice column with 3 choices: light, medium, and dark, to our stationary combustion table, as well as the stationary combustion form. After all modifications are made to the data model, we will publish our changes so they are available for use within Microsoft Sustainability Manager. We won't go through all of these steps today, but instead we will discuss the advantages of extending the data model in our scenario. Okay, let's dive into a demo on how extending the data model works. This will give you a practical understanding of how to utilize a custom field in your sustainability data model. During the demo, we will briefly discuss the changes made to the data model, how the data model extension appears in Microsoft Sustainability Manager, and how to leverage the new custom field in our calculations.
Here in the Maker portal, we can review the changes Contoso has made to the data model. We will open the stationary combustion table and click on the columns link to review the newly added column, Roast type. The new column is a choice column, providing a standard list of 3 choices. Note the numerical values for each label. These will be used in the calculation model. Reviewing our recent data import mappings page, the new roast type column appears in the list. The roast type data type is listed as pick list. This is another term for choice column. Custom columns on standard tables will appear in the mapping list. However, custom tables are not supported for data ingestion. Let's check our stationary combustion activity data and review how the new roast type column appears. On this stationary combustion activity, the roast type is set to dark. Let's review the changes that Contoso has made to the calculation model to integrate the new data model extension. 2 new calculation nodes have been added to the calculation model, with power FX expressions applied. The expressions utilize the new roast type choice field, mapping the numerical values to a percentage increase. The output variable from the calculation node is used in the report node to supply an increased quantity value. Let's review the calculated emissions. The data model extension column is not copied to the emissions record. The data in the column remains in the activity data record. Additionally, the CO2e emissions have increased compared to the previous calculation.
Contoso Coffee Roasters was able to adapt the Microsoft Cloud for Sustainability data model to meet their unique needs. Adding a new drop-down choice list to track their data was chosen to ensure the data captured is standardized and does not rely on user entry. They were able to leverage this new column in their calculations to enhance their unique emission calculations. The Microsoft Cloud for Sustainability offers the flexibility to extend the data model where the standard offerings and extensions do not meet your unique needs. This approach requires an advanced technical background in Power Platform, but offers full control over your data structure. While data model extensions are not supported by pre-built reports or certain data ingestion scenarios, they can be used in calculations. When extending the data model, you can leverage additional reporting tools to build more detailed and accurate custom sustainability reports that reflect the unique aspects of your business operations. This approach ensures that your data is relevant and actionable, helping you make informed decisions. Let's compare the options: custom factor mappings, custom dimensions, and extending the data model. Each option has its pros and cons, and the choice depends on your specific needs and technical capabilities. Custom factor mappings simplify the calculation model and can be used as a filter on calculation profiles. Custom dimensions offer flexible data association and appear in the Power BI Insights dashboards. And extending the data model provides full control over your data structure, but requires an advanced technical background. By understanding the strengths and limitations of each option, you can choose the best approach for your sustainability data management needs. In summary, custom factor mappings can help simplify your calculation models and calculation profiles by reducing the number of conditional branches and allowing the tool to pivot the calculation upon your reference data. Leverage custom dimensions when you need your custom data points to appear in the standard Power BI Insights dashboards. And extend the data model when you need full control over your data structure, require complex calculations, and enhanced external reporting capabilities. Choosing the option that best fits your sustainability goals and technical expertise will help you create more accurate and detailed sustainability reports that reflect the unique aspects of your business operations. Be sure to visit the links shared to find the documentation on each of the options we have discussed, as well as previous Tech Summit sessions that deep dive into these concepts. Your feedback is crucial in helping us improve our sessions and provide you with the best possible experience. Please let us know how the summit is going by visiting aka.ms/mcfsts feedback. Explore the sustainability community at aka.ms/mcfs community for more resources and information. By engaging with the community, you can access a wealth of resources and connect with other professionals who are passionate about sustainability.